Hi everyone, Aidan here at the Trailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CURT Premium 4-bike rack and seeing how it fits on the back of our 2019 Chrysler Pacifica. This is going to be a hanging style bike rack, holding the bike by the frame and letting the rest of the rack or the bike hang down below the rack. There's two main points of contact holding it in place, these two straps on the top holding it down into the cradles, and a third one on the side here as an anti-sway cradle, just to help limit the side-to-side movement and bike-to-bike contact. They do make a 5-bike version of this that has a slightly boosted weight capacity, and with that, it's going to stick out a little bit further than the 4-bike version here, but functionally they're the same. So if you do need some extra capacity, you can look into that. Now, as far as hanging racks go, there are going to be some limitations. Because we're relying on the frame for holding the bike here, you do want to avoid carbon frame bikes because any sort of frame contact, especially hanging by the frame, can damage it. With alternative frame bikes and kids bikes, you are going to be a little bit wary and probably need a bike adapter bar, especially for those alternative frames, just to make sure the bike hangs level. But with kids bikes, you might be in luck because the arms here at the end actually narrow together, making this a little bit more accommodating for those small kids frames. If you've got a really small kids bike, we've found that you'll still probably need a bike adapter bar. So just be mindful of that. It's not a one-fix-all solution, but it does help. Now, as far as operating this and weight capacity, it does have a 180-pound weight capacity, with the 5-bike version being a 225-pound weight capacity. So make sure that all your bikes loaded up together doesn't exceed that. And for the tilt-away feature to access the back of your vehicle, you need to get the bike unloaded first. So we'll remove the straps from all of the cradles here, just pulling on that rubber strap and popping it off of the tabs, and then lifting the bike up and away. Loading and unloading isn't too bad, but for that inner bike, you do have to reach in quite a bit just to get it to actually come out, and it is a bit of a reach. To tilt it away, we can go down to the bottom of the rack where we have a couple different points of contact. There's a hand knob at the back of the mast that will loosen things up a little bit, allowing us to pull out this pin and clip through the side. We may need to loosen up that hand knob just a little bit more. And then once that's out, we can pull the plunger at the back to fully release it. And this allows us to open up the back of our Pacifica. And you can see the reason we have to do this with bikes unloaded is because of how far it tilts down. The bikes would be making contact with the ground. But at the very least, it lets us get access to the back of the vehicle, get things in or out if we need to. And the reason there's so many touch points at the bottom there is because this bike rack is motorhome approved, and it has to be built to a different standard than a bike rack that's not motorhome approved. So all these different points of contact, from the plunger to the pin and clip and that hand knob, just help keep this pivot point a little bit more solid compared to other racks. So yes, it is a bit of a pain to actually use it because there's just more to do, but you can trust that it's going to be a little bit more solid, and that is also what helps it give a slightly better weight capacity compared to other hanging style bike racks. While we're here, let's get some measurements though. We're going to start off with our distance added to the back, going from the bumper to the end of the arms on the rack, which is coming in right about 35 inches straight out. So that does add a fair bit of length to the vehicle, something to be mindful of when you're driving around. But if you want to leave it in the hitch between rides and save some space, you can pop out this pin and clip at the top, fold the arms down, repin it into place with the newly aligned holes, and get that same measurement again to see that now it only sticks out 10 inches from the back. This is way more manageable for things like parking spots or maybe even your garage at home, depending on the room you have. Makes it just easier to live with. I will say that with it folded up, whether you have it in the storage position or with bikes loaded, the center mast here lines up perfectly with your backup camera, so you're probably not getting any use out of that. And it does sit a little closer to the vehicle, meaning you're not going to have as good of visibility with your license plate. And when bikes are loaded up, they're going to be coming closer to your bumper. So as they swing around, maybe that front tire rotates, you might be making contact with the vehicle in some cases, just depending on the bike. If you're looking for something that doesn't sit as close, the Thule Hitching Post Pro did give a lot more distance between the vehicle, but that'd just be my own personal recommendation if you're looking for better clearance. Down at the hitch, it's working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube and comes with an anti-rattle bolt to keep things nice and solid. It's not a locking anti-rattle bolt, but you can pick up one separate if you'd like. You can find that here at etrailer. And I always recommend pairing that up with a cable lock. That'll go through this loop at the back of the mast. Aside from all that though, the CURT Premium is a pretty standard hanging style bike rack. It does have its limitations, but in the world of hanging style racks, it does offer some additional benefits in terms of that better weight capacity and the different design with the arms coming together at the end, making it a little bit better for those kids' bikes. So if you're looking at this for your family, that would be my recommendation of where to start. But that's been our look at the CURT Premium 4-bike rack and seeing how it fits on the 2019 Chrysler Pacifica. Thanks for watching.